internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
so question about the halving. I've heard it called the halvening or the halving, but either one. We're getting to that in April, I think, right? Yep. And that's been a bullish thing before. I sort of wonder, is it the same thing, though? Is that already getting priced in, or is there something technical that actually happens that would make it be priced in closer to the event?
So what we've seen historically is that the 12 to 16 months after a halving is the best performance of Bitcoin. So that's what everybody's thinking about. This time might be different because the price of Bitcoin's higher. We now only have, I think it's 900 Bitcoin a day that come out, so that gets cut in half. It's not a lot of Bitcoin, but what it does do is it makes Bitcoin more scarce than gold. So for the first time in history, you have an asset that is more scarce than gold.
In what way more scarce?
Let's call it a stock-to-flow ratio. So the amount of Bitcoin mined every year divided by...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, turn for our script. Let's get right into today's video. You guys heard that intro. CNBC is shilling Bitcoin. You know it's time, folks. Strap in, because we are about to see dumb money enter the market, aka late retail investors just looking to make a couple of dimes in the sector. Welcome back to another episode. The information we're going to put together today is going to be bone chilling. This is going to be absolutely crazy. You got to listen to what Nigel Jenkinson said. He is at the IMF for 9 years as the Financial Regulation and Supervision. Prior to that, he was at the FSB Financial Stability Board, and also he was the executive director for Bank of England for 32 years. And you gotta listen to what he said about stablecoins. Now it has made 1 trillion% sense on what USDC, Ripple, and XRP are doing behind the scenes. Folks, this one is going to be absolutely amazing. But first, IBM announces new cold storage solution for digital assets. Well, I wonder what happened there. It looks like IBM has worked with Matico, an IBM business partner and digital asset custody provider, and tier 1 banks to help ensure OSO addresses client requirements. So Matico is working with tier 1 banks, and they just announced it, which means they have been silently working together for the past, could be months or years. This is what NDAs mean, folks, and Ripple has a lot of NDAs. And if you guys don't know what OSO means, well, let me break it down so you understand what it means so you can explain it to your peers. Offline signing orchestrator. Offline signing. This refers to the process of digitally signing a transaction or a document without being connected to the internet. Orchestrator refers to a system or software that coordinates and manages different tasks or processes. Putting these two concepts together, an OSO would be a system or tool that manages and coordinates the process of offline signing. In simpler terms, think of OSO as a secure and sophisticated manager that makes sure digital signing happens smoothly and securely without the need to be connected to the internet, and then neatly integrates the signed data back into the online world where it's needed. And now, Circle just announced that they have partnered with Nubank to offer USDC to their millions of customers in Brazil. We know that Ripple is massive in Brazil and Latam. And here's the press release, December 5th. And don't forget, SBI partnered with Circle to also push USDC in Japan. And now, to set the tone for the information I'm about to provide to you, listen to what Nigel says here very carefully.
How I would term stable coin, but I think as Nick described, there are many different types and varieties of this. So I think there's a question about the term. On your point about global stable coins, I think a global stable coin is one which essentially is viewed as having extensive reach within and across borders. So it's one that has a potential global and significant cross-border reach. But that would be how I would define it, Sunena.
A global stablecoin should have extensive reach across borders. Listen to this again.
How I would term stable coin, but I think as Nick described, there's many different types and varieties of this. So I think there's a question about the term. On your point about global stable coins, I think a global stable coin is one which essentially is viewed as having extensive reach, within and across borders. So it's one that has a potential global and significant cross-border reach. But that would be how I would define it, Sunena.
And what has happened in the past, 2 weeks? Just to give you some information, with SBI partnered up with USDC. Now we have Nubank, Matico. It's all falling in line. And it gets even better. In 2017, this is a press release by Ripple of who they're working with. The newest members of RippleNet include Airwallex, Bex. Well, if we go to Bex Pay sealed partnership with Nubank. This was last year. And Nubank is now with USDC. What are they going to be doing? Bex Pay will, from now on, be responsible for transactions using NewPay, Nubank's online e-commerce payment solution. This means Bex Pay will be intermediating payments for Nubank. So Bex Pay is doing everything for them, which is now directly correlated with Ripple. And don't forget, Warren Buffett also backed Nubank to launch its own cryptocurrency in Brazil. These guys all know what's coming down on the pipelines. And then this is back, again, August. Ripple launches crypto-enabled enterprise payments in Brazil with Travelex Bank. Ripple opens up Liquidity Hub to Brazil and Australia. Wow. Shall I go on? Ripple expands to Latin America and Africa through RippleNet. How interoperability highlights crypto's big potential in LATAM. And now, talking about just scaling USDC. I'm going to play this video again with everything that just went down with USDC and Nubank, SBI and USDC. Folks, the writing's on the wall. If you miss this opportunity, you're truly an idiot. Honestly speaking, it's not name calling. It's just being straight up. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. And people are not going to watch videos like this because it's boring. They don't have the attention span. It doesn't fascinate them. But listen to this once again.
How I would term stable coin, but I think as Nick described, there's many different types and varieties of this. So I think there's a question about the term. On your point about global stable coins, I think a global stable coin is one which essentially is viewed as having extensive reach, within and across borders. So it's one that has a potential global and significant cross-border reach. But that would be how I would define it, Sunena. Thank you.
I think USDC is obviously incredibly important for the crypto industry, right? I mean, it is, in my sense, pretty much the killer app of sort of retail crypto.
Well, look, I think stablecoins are absolutely here to stay, and whether or not it's just Tether and USDC, I don't know. I think there'll be other major players entering that market. I mean, we saw PayPal play in that game
because it does solve the key problem of moving money and moving money quickly and cheaply. I think this sort of thesis still needs to be played out, but I think where USDC is going to hit a cap is going to be at scale. So when I talk about the $10 trillion that we're processing every night, and I was looking this morning, I think the the 24-hour volume for both USDC and USDT is like $25 billion or something. That's like 400 times less than what we do every day. And if you think about having to fully reserve $10 trillion to be able to make those payments every day, that's a lot of liquidity that you're taking out of the system.
Solve this problem. And I think we're really close. I mean, USDC itself we've seen over $3.5 trillion of transactions directly on the internet between counterparties. And so if we can, improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like, Brad's company provides.
So I think that USDC has, 100% a place to play. I don't know that in its current construct, it can play at the institutional level.
This makes perfect sense with what Nigel said about having a stablecoin that has extensive cross-border reach. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that like button. Share this video everywhere. We just unlocked one of the biggest puzzle pieces to this. And even back in 2014, Ripple goes LATAM with AstroPay as first money service business on the protocol. It's long in the making, folks. And don't forget, Warren Buffett says he intends to add to Japanese stock holdings. And one of the companies that he invested in is correlated with Ripple XRP R3, which goes to say they know exactly what's coming down the pipeline. So that's a fact. These guys are all insider trading. Awfully easy money. Charlie Munger praises Warren Buffett. Big bets on Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, follow where the money is. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The writing's on the wall. Things are about to take off, and we'll be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.